while the technical aspects of this procedure are being considered, I would invite Mr David Nabarro to take the floor.
Thanks very much indeed, and I'm delighted, Madam President, to have the opportunity to present today, Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen. 2 months ago, the Council adopted Resolution 2177. It was a memorable day. Why? For 2 reasons. At that time, we were aware that the outbreak was advancing very rapidly. We were also clear that a major and intense response was needed. And on that day, the resolution was passed with enormous support. Today, for me, is memorable too. The reasons today are a combination of hope and fear. Hope because the signs are good, particularly in Liberia, but fear because the virus is unforgiving, and any complacency and it will punish us. I thank the Security Council for its continued attention to the current Ebola outbreak and its consequences. Since we last met, much has happened. The response capacities available to national and local authorities have expanded substantially. The UN system's mission for Ebola emergency response is coordinating support for what national governments are doing, and it's increasing capacity in districts, counties and prefectures. The degree to which societies are engaged in the response has deepened. When societies take responsibility for responding and partners align their support, authorities are able to react rapidly and effectively. And we're seeing that where the response strategy is implemented fully, transmission is decreasing. And so while the total number of cases continues to rise, the overall rate of increase really has begun to slow, and this is a good sign. But results are uneven among and within the affected countries, and we're seeing quite a lot of variation. The curve is bending in enough places to give us the hope that I described at the beginning. But because transmission is still intense and rapid, as in many locations, and because the outbreak has spread geographically, we realise we've still got a lot more to do. And we see hotspots in northern Guinea and in western Sierra Leone, and new transmissions in Mali. So we must remain vigilant and persevere with a flexible and well-adapted response. If we take our eye off the ball, case numbers will climb again, and we will all count the cost. The outbreak and the threat it poses to the region and to the world will not be over until the last case is identified, isolated, and under treatment. Madam President, the primary credit for progress in the fight against Ebola goes to communities that have made difficult decisions to abandon generations of traditional practices. And social mobilisation has been the key to success, from safe burial of those who die and caring for the sick, to limiting physical contact and improving hygiene. Good medical care is also critical. This means Ebola treatment units and community care centres that are staffed by health personnel who know how to treat Ebola. It means quicker identification of cases, as well as rapid contact tracing and follow-up. And where these ingredients are present, the rate of transmission slows. But where they are absent, communities remain vulnerable. And the fact is that too many communities remain vulnerable. Madam President, as this Council has emphasised, Ebola is not just an urgent public health crisis, it's a complex emergency. Ebola and the fear and stigma it creates has affected health provision, education, food security, trade and economic well-being. And we encourage all engaged in the response to align their support so that authorities can promote resilience, can repair damage and can hasten recovery. And that recovery does start now, even during the outbreak, beginning particularly with the restoration of essential services. And in the longer term, we must all work with the countries so they can build back better and be able to prevent future health crises of this kind. The members of this Council and UN member states are already showing solidarity and generosity in providing material and financial assistance to the affected countries. But winning this battle is going to require considerably more resources and effort. We've met the initial short-term target for the Secretary-General's Multi-Partner Trust Fund of $100 million, and we thank all who've so generously contributed. The money is being dispersed quickly to fund critical programs. But by the end of this year, we would like to see much more in the fund in order to cover the cost of unfunded priorities. And looking at it more broadly, we estimate that the UN system will need about $1.5 billion through to March 2015 to play its part in ending the outbreak. Much has been committed, but there's still a shortfall of around $600 million, and I am sure that we will meet that shortfall. The affected countries will also need support in order to enable the recovery of their economic, social and health systems. Another immediate priority is for self-sufficient, staffed and equipped international responders. Again, governments from Africa, the Americas, Asia and Europe have been generous, but more skilled health personnel are needed to provide assistance wherever it is most required, especially in remote districts, because there is a need to chase this virus down and root it out from its last hiding place. And this means breaking the chains of transmission by identifying and treating all cases and tracing their contacts so that everyone in West Africa and beyond is safe. Madam President, the longer the Ebola outbreak continues, the greater the impact on the affected countries and the greater the chance of it spreading to other nations. And this does mean a continued urgent response from the international community. First, the need to mitigate the risk Ebola presents to health, development, peace and security by ending the outbreak as soon as possible. Second, ensuring that essential services can be maintained and stability can be preserved. And third, starting to look at recovery and considering what this will involve. As this Council knows well, strong systems and institutions are the foundation of peace and prosperity. Let us do our utmost to ensure that there are no more outbreaks like this one ever again. Thank you.
I thank Mr Nabarro for his comprehensive briefing.